Hi guys, this is Jacqui Cooper with both JCoopertravels as well as Love Travel Scotland, and I am here today with Yvette MacDonald and also Mark, and we are super excited to be talking to both because we are featuring local businesses that are in Scotland and talking about places that we love to visit. Yvette, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks, Jackie. Thanks for having me here. And it's a pleasure to meet Mark today as well. So just a little bit about myself is I'm a mum of four and I'm an entrepreneur and I dabble in cryptocurrency and travel. And the purpose of Love Travel Scotland is to help the local community and the folk of Scotland.
Mark, would you like to share a little bit more, both with our listeners as well as our on the podcast as well as on the YouTube, more about what you do? And for those that might be new to the podcast world, there's a block of information near the podcast and also on the YouTube side. So you will be able to actually reach Mark and see more of his wonderful artwork and learn more about everything that he's doing. So if you are listening and driving and not able to write things down, don't fret. Just go ahead and connect with us on our podcast and you'll be able to see all the connection links that will be there. Mark, thank you so much for being here today. I'm super excited to talk to you, and I'm seeing all your wonderful artwork behind you. Tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. I am a Scottish artist from Glasgow. I lived here and then travelled quite a bit through Scotland, but also across to Italy. I lived there for quite a few years and then came back and have been a teacher for 18 years and then decided to break free and try my luck at being an artist full time. So I'm giving it a go. Studied many years ago, about 30 years ago now, in Edinburgh, and set up back in Glasgow, just outside Glasgow, north of Glasgow in Kirkintilloch. So this in my studio at the moment. I've down tools to speak to you, and then I'll be cracking on again with more painting. But I paint figurative and portrait and landscape also. So quite a lot going on at the moment.
Great, fantastic. So can I just ask you, which one is your favourite to paint? Do you have a preference?
I paint for the sheer joy of painting. I'm getting a lot of pleasure at the moment from landscapes.
Great.
Portraits and figurative things were my first love.
Okay.
So I dip between the three of them, really. And I don't just paint, I also sculpt as well. So I've got a three-dimensional piece just behind my shoulder here and up there. So yeah, I do
Wow.
two-dimensional and three-dimensional. So keeps me busy.
Yeah, you're very talented.
Do you have an online shop if people see your art, or how do you share your work with people if they would like to get a copy or one of your pieces?
Yeah, well, I have, first of all, my website, markmulholland.co.uk, sorry, markmulhollandartist.co.uk. And I also sell on Saatchi Art, which I think is called Saatchi Art now. It used to be Saatchi Online. And then through Facebook and my Instagram account, which is at MBMArtist. So numerous different ways.
Do you find that a lot of your clients are based in Scotland or other locations?
I've recently received a commission from somebody in Texas. Also work sold in Canada and mainland Europe. But yeah, quite a few clients in Scotland and England.
How do you decide where you're going to kind of park yourself to let the inspiration flow?
I mean, I love this area. I'm pointing with my hand that way, which is to the north of the city of Glasgow. I think the lowlands of Scotland sometimes get a bit overlooked. because of the beauty of the Highlands, but there's so many gorgeous areas in this part of the country, and the Campsie Fells, which I've been drawing and painting a lot. There were hills that I saw frequently as a youngster visiting my grandparents just down the road. So it was, it's a beautiful place that I just can't get out of my head and off my paintings at the moment.
I'm so excited to be able to feature you with this highlight podcast. I know that we're going to be connecting again for longer versions, so that way everyone can learn more about individual pieces of art that you've created and the locations that you've drawn, because you, as you've mentioned, you have traveled around Scotland, and so I'm sure you have many pieces. And you know, just like the three-dimensional pieces that I see on your wall and everything, there's probably a story behind each one.
Oh yeah.
And again, I would love to learn more about those stories and then be able to show them on our Facebook as well. Any last moment questions that you can think of, Yvette, before we sign off?
I just wondered if Mark had a favorite place that he went and visited that he just liked to paint for, just for the pure pleasure of painting, that you'd like to keep one for yourself. Maybe, do you actually keep pictures for yourself or do you sell them all?
I keep them, you know, I have them on show on my wall, and then at a certain point I bid them farewell, and I give them a little kiss goodbye.
Oh, bless.
But no one can take away the process, the pleasure of painting, and so I have that with me forever, you know. But I love Dumgoyne, the hill just to the west end of the Campsies. It's an absolutely gorgeous hill, and was a volcanic plug. There is a little whiskey distillery at the bottom of it, Dumgoyne Distillery. It's absolutely beautiful area, and I go past there as many times as I can. It's just gorgeous.
Oh, that's really nice. It sounds like I'm in Aberdeenshire, so I've got Benihee and lots of local distilleries in my area, and yeah, this just sounds. I'll have to come visit that.
It's gorgeous.
Great.
We're lucky, aren't we?
We are very lucky, you know, and this is why, you know, look at what we've got on our doorstep. It's great. Yeah.
For sure. Thank you so much, Mark and Yvette, for being on the podcast today. We'll definitely talk soon. Thank you so much for sharing. And again, I just want to remind everyone, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to JCoopertravels, the YouTube side, and definitely look in the blog, because there'll be contact information, as Mark has said, so that way you can enjoy, you know, one of his pieces or more than one of his pieces. So thank you so much, Mark and Yvette, today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqui.